mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. Fair season in our area is almost here, and once again, the Grant County Fair in Moses Lake goes first. August 15th through the 19th, you can enjoy the Davis Shows Carnival, the Demo Derby, the Moses Lake Roundup, livestock, big and small, exotic animals, the FFA and 4-H projects, arts and crafts, a beer garden, dozens of activities for the kids, and musical entertainment throughout.
Welcome to August, television family. It is Tuesday, first day of August, 2023. I am Dan Kuntz. It is primary election day today. This is your last chance to get your ballot into the auditor's office. Got until 8 o'clock tonight to get it in person, or it could be postmarked today, but you're taking a chance if you're sticking it in the mail. If you're gonna vote and you haven't done it yet, use the drop box. They're all over Douglas and Chelan counties, and we will have primary election results tomorrow. Primary election day is today, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm feeling pretty good, but I have a feeling that tonight I'm going to win the lottery. The winning ticket right here. If you see me in the office tomorrow, that means I didn't win the lottery. If you see me in the office, if I don't show up to work tomorrow, that still means I probably didn't win the lottery, but I would have to clean out my desk if I did win the lottery, so I have to come in anyway. It is a beautiful morning, 63 degrees. We hit 87 yesterday, going to be a couple of degrees warmer than that today, a couple of degrees warmer than that on Wednesday. Up the ladder we go. Big ridge of high pressure is beginning to encroach in our area. It's actually centered over western Montana. And when we show you the cameras around north central Washington, you'll notice the haze, the high smoke and haze up in the Okanagan Valley from the Eagle Bluff fire. We'll get to that in a little bit. A lot of news to touch on. In sports, the Mariners started off on a winning note against the Red Sox last night, but we also lost Paul Sewald, traded to the Diamondbacks. We'll have that. In sports, no Apple Sox, of course, yesterday. They had yesterday off. They're on the bus and heading to Bellingham. They got 3 games against the Bells on the road. And then they close out with 3 more games against Kelowna. And then it's playoff time. We'll have that in sports. And in the back half of the program, speaking of sports, it's our traditional August visit with Jerry Anderson from the Chelan County Football Officials Association. They do this every year at this time as they get ready for high school football. They need warm bodies. They need officials. Without officials, it's just recess. And you can't do sanctioned high school football games without a fully trained and accredited football official staff. You want to get into football officiating? You don't get paid a lot of money, but it's kind of a cool job. Jerry will tell you how you get involved in the back half of the program, and we begin with our tour around the valley with, of course, this incredible camera. We went through the cameras earlier today, and I'm told that is a view of Dallas, Texas. Is that correct? I'm sorry, it's not Dallas, that's Wenatchee. That's my bad. Sunrise this morning, 5:39. Sunset tonight, 8:35. 14 hours and 56 minutes of daylight as the sun begins to bathe the valley proper. Eric Grandstrom, as we speak, is up right there at the top of Lake Wenatchee. He's fishing for sockeye, so let's look for him, folks. He's in that boat right there. Wave, Eric, wave to us. There he is. Now we're waving back to Eric. Eric went up late last night, slept in his boat, and first thing out this morning, he's right there trying to land himself a few sockeye. Best of luck, Eric, from our Two Rivers camera. A lot of boats up there. Cougar Ridge checks in. Folks still haven't quite figured out the new roundabout out there in Old Station. It's not that hard. Look at the sign and figure out where you want to go. Pick the right lane, and you're in business. I've been able to navigate it without too much difficulty anyway. Good morning to the north part of town. You can see a huge swath of Sunny Slope. And of course, Omi Gardens, which is just a gorgeous time to visit any time of the year when it's open. And we talked about the haze and the smoke to the north of us from the Eagle Bluff fire. That is Billy Goat looking north towards Omak and Okanagan. Now, I looked at the air quality site just a second ago, and they don't have bad air quality, but you got to remember that the sensors, the air quality sensors, are near the surface, and according to the National Weather Service, although it is smoky up there because of the Eagle Bluff fire, the smoke is pretty high up in the atmosphere. It's not getting down near the surface of the planet, which means the air quality isn't really that bad in the lower elevations, in Omak, Okanagan, Pateros, Brewster, whatever. It looks bad. It's actually not that bad as far as air quality is concerned because the smoke and the haze is fairly high up in the atmosphere. Every Monday, the Climate Prediction Center spits out their long-term forecast, and then we show it to you the next day. So the date range is August 6th through the 10th, and your 6 to 10-day temperature outlook for this time period. As you can see, we have a better than 50-50 chance we're going to be likely above normal for our afternoon high temperatures. So we're in for a fairly warm August to begin with. As you can see, the upper Midwest, Nebraska, Kansas, eastern Montana, and the Dakotas, they're going to be below normal, in fact, well below normal, but not here. We got a pretty good chance of being above normal. That's temperature-wise for August 6th through the 10th. Now, as far as precipitation is concerned, we have a likely better than 50-50 chance of seeing some precipitation. Now, that's not because we're not expecting any rain event. This would be because due to thunderstorms. When it gets this hot, we do have the opportunity for an occasional pop-up thunderstorm, especially over the Idaho Panhandle in the upper elevations of the Idaho Panhandle. So I don't think we're due for any thunderstorms here, but because of the instability in the atmosphere when we get to this time of the year, there is a chance of a thunderstorm, although not a particularly great one. You want sunny and hot conditions? Here you go, folks, from the National Weather Service, just about 91. Today will be about 4 degrees warmer than yesterday as the high-pressure ridge really becomes entrenched. 60 for the overnight low, little on the breezy side tonight, not too much on Wednesday. Then we get up to about 93 on Thursday. Friday into the weekend we go, 95. It's going to be sunny and hot Saturday, 95. Even a degree warmer on Sunday. Monday, right now, looks to be the hottest of this forecast period with a high of 98. Could get to 100 on Tuesday before a gradual warming trend, but it is August, and it is August weather for north central Washington. It's 7 minutes after the hour. Going to take a 2-minute break, and then we'll have your news on this Tuesday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Pybus Public Market is on the move to make parking, dining, shopping, and events an even better experience for our community. Check out the progress that has already been made towards the revitalization. The Westside project is well on its way, but we need your help to get over the finish line. All donations are greatly appreciated and can be made online at our website or in person at the business office. We want to thank those who have already partnered with us. You are helping make the place we love a better place for our community to meet.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
Not a cloud in the sky, 63 degrees, lower 90s today, lower 90s, mid 90s, upper 90s, sunny and hot, a little breezy this afternoon and tonight. It is 9 minutes after the hour. A Chelan parent who scattered nude images of a teenager at Eastmont Junior High School pleaded guilty Monday to felony harassment and 2 gross misdemeanors for that incident. Amanda Sue Austin, she's now 48 years old, faces a possible term of 3 months in jail with work release when she's sentenced. That'll be 2 weeks from now. Austin and her teenage daughter entered Eastmont Junior High School in March of 2021, where they left printed pages that included images of the victim, plus her email address and social media accounts. Police said the incident arose from a rivalry between Austin's daughter and the teenage victim. She was originally charged with 2 felonies, distribution of child pornography and burglary. Austin's daughter pled guilty in juvenile court last year to a gross misdemeanor. Congresswoman Kim Schreier is going to be in Wenatchee tomorrow. She's going to be joining a town hall hosted by the Governor's Veterans Affairs Advisory Committee. Schreier will be discussing the services her office provides to veterans and the 1-year anniversary of the PACT Act. That act expanded veterans health care and extends eligibility for veterans whose lives were impacted by burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic exposures. Schreier will urge veterans to file claims with the VA by August 9th. That way they can have their benefits backdated to August 10th of last year. Veterans, families, and service providers are all invited to join the town hall. It's tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at the American Legion Post 10 in downtown Wenatchee. East Wenatchee police say a 49-year-old suspect is behind bars after twice trying to rob a local hotel. Eric John Felton, arrested Saturday. Police say he entered the Cedars Inn Hotel early in the morning of July 7th and threatened the front desk employee while demanding money. Well, he left on foot, didn't take anything. But last Thursday, Felton allegedly returned at about 5 a.m. and took cash from the lobby register while the front desk was unattended. The theft was caught on video. Police say they'll seek charges including 3rd-degree theft and 2nd-degree burglary. A former Seattle area teacher who left his job after pleading guilty to a sex offense was arrested in Chelan over the weekend on suspicion of rape. Chelan County Sheriff's detectives arrested 52-year-old Darren Daniel Hunter on Sunday. That's after a woman alleged that Hunter assaulted and raped her in his home 1 day prior. Deputies say Hunter had previously paid the woman for sex work and brought her to his home with an offer to sell her prescription drugs. Hunter was once a teacher in the Seattle School District, but left his job after pleading guilty last year to misdemeanor assault with sexual motivation against a woman he had dated. He remains in jail in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. His first court appearance was due yesterday afternoon. Violet Madsen, a recent Wenatchee High School graduate and a recent recipient of the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra's Young Musician Competition, going to be singing the national anthem at a baseball game tonight. No, not where you see her there at an Apple Sox game. She's actually going to be at T-Mobile Park singing the national anthem before the Mariners take on the Red Sox.
I first got into singing when I was like 5 years old. I don't really put a lot of pressure onto the national anthem. It feels pretty low-key. It's almost like practicing a song or something. Something I like to do before I perform in most places is kind of just meditate. I was taught like a while ago how to control, I have some like weird nerve issues, and so I've been taught how to like control my nerves by meditating. I'm definitely a sirens girl, you know, when people go like, woo! So I do that because it actually really helps when you're warming up to do those. So I have been to maybe 3 or 4 Mariners games. I went to 2 this year. I went 1 earlier in the year and 1 just recently. We really like going to the Mariners games, yeah. I'm feeling pretty excited about the upcoming game. I really like Julio Rodriguez. Well, is this too much to share? No, I think it's fine. I've kind of had a crush on him ever since Easter, like 2 years ago. And I'm always like in the stands, I'm like, yeah, go J-Rod. So I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to just do it in front of so many people. It's also, they're going against the Red Sox, I think. Is that the Boston Red Sox? Okay, which is kind of crazy. It's like, it might be sold out, which is crazy to me. So it's just really cool and crazy, I guess is how I'm feeling. For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Best of luck to her. If you didn't get a chance yesterday, you still have a chance today to head to the Wenatchee School District offices and apply for a paraprofessional job. Paraprofessionals, of course, are the assistants who support teachers in all kinds of roles throughout the district. Next event is today from 1 to 3 o'clock this afternoon at the Wenatchee School District offices. The communications director for the Wenatchee School District is Diana Haglund. She says parapros are an invaluable part of the classroom experience.
Paraeducators are often thought of as like classroom assistants. They provide instructional support. Sometimes they're working in libraries or in other parts of our buildings, but really critical to supporting our teachers so that they can provide high quality instruction. So we're looking to add paraprofessionals to our ranks, so add some new people into the classroom, as well as in our special ed department. We have many students that need a one-on-one para support professional, and so we're looking to fill those roles as well.
Finally, everybody likes to see footage of a boulder being blown up, and by golly, here's footage of a boulder being blown up. This is from the Washington State Department of Transportation. Here we go. Boom. Pretty cool, huh? No dynamite, though. That's up Highway 97A near Antioch. The DOT has been spending quite a bit of time clearing ditches and basins along the highway in the Antioch area, and to do that, they employ the device that you saw. It's called a boulder buster, and it doesn't use explosives. It uses non-explosive pressure injection to break up the big rocks, and the DOT says once a boulder gets busted up into more manageable pieces, that way the smaller debris, they can remove it and stick it in the back of trucks and haul it the heck on out of there. Pretty cool. Everybody likes to see that. That's the news at 17 minutes after the hour. Now that we're back to full staff, we got a full newscast. Well, we always do. Jefferson and Grant and I don't know, it's like a bunch of people who work on it. Oh, and Casey, our newest edition. The news comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5, 6, and 10 on television. It's also available for you to peruse on the World Wide Web. And I'm already on record as saying this whole internet thing's going to really catch on. So you can watch it on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, or our homepage. And if you have a news tip, get a hold of us, news at ncwlife.com. When we come back, Mariners win. Applesauce get ready for their last 6 regular season games, all on the road. We'll preview that and more with sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. Hi everybody, Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. There's ice on my heat pump and under my heat pump.
Well, ice under your heat pump is normal. When we go into a defrost cycle, it melts the frost off, creates water, which freezes to the ground. Ice around your heat pump is a thing that you should probably give us a call about.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere, so when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Whether you're just dipping your feet or plunging right in, boating with a Sylvan pontoon boat is the way to go at Bob File Boats and Motors. Sylvan pontoon boats offer performance, reliability, and stability to take you, your family, and friends to the water in style. Sylvan pontoon boats have a wide variety of styles and layouts to suit your needs. See the full line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
19 minutes after the hour, the Mariners opened up a homestand against Boston by beating the Red Sox. We like that. Finally, was 6-2. Cal Raleigh provided the big blows on the night. He hit 2 solo home runs. Then the Mariners added some insurance runs late in the game to the victory.
The runner goes. The throw is cast into center field. Durant is up. He's racing to third. Here's the throw there. That gets by. He's trying to score. Here's the flip. They're not going to get him.
I mean, he gets a great jump. He's beating it out even on a good throw. Suarez dekes him there. He thinks, oh, maybe he's got the ball. Nope, just kidding. Doesn't matter when you're that fast. You're just creating a run all by yourself. Man, is that fun to watch.
Cal hits a high fly ball, deep right field. Going back, Verdugo. He can only watch. Bye-bye. Big Cal ties it at 1-1 here in the second inning. 15th home run, RBI number 42. Oh, hey now for Cal. Drives it out of here. 1-1 to Cal. High drive right field. Has he done it again? Yeah, he did. Hey now. Cal Raleigh's giving the Mariners a 2-1 lead here in the 7th. A multi-home run game for the big man. He's got 16 on the season. Big Cal heating up.
And to get the ball up in the air to the outfield.
Fly ball base hit to get another run. That'll work. Down the line. Scoring is Milo. Scoring is Caballero. Julio Rodriguez, a 2-run single, and the Mariners have a 4-1 lead. The 0-1. Through the hole, base hit. Walking home is JP. Mariners have a 5-1 lead. RBI leader, Eugenio Suarez, makes it his 65th of the season.
2-2, softly hit on the infield. Suarez won't throw it. A run scores. Connor Wong across the plate. Now 6-2.
Wow. 3-2 pitch to Yoshida. Couple of men aboard. And the pitch. Up the middle. JP. Wow. What a play. Game over. And the Mariners beat Boston 6-2.
Part of last night's game, Seattle announced they had traded closer Paul Sewald to the Diamondbacks. And what do we get in exchange? We got Dominic Canzone, we got infielder Ryan Bliss, and infielder Josh Rojas. Paul Sewald, 3-1 with 21 saves for the Mariners in 45 appearances this year. Seattle-Boston go at it again tonight, 6:40, Root Sports Northwest and the Major League Baseball Network. To the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard we go. Pretty light schedule yesterday. LA beat Atlanta 4-1. Yordan Alvarez, he smacked a 3-run home run in a 4-run 6th inning for Houston. The Astros topped Cleveland 7-3. The Wenatchee Apple Sox, they begin their final road trip of the regular season tonight in Bellingham. Wenatchee will send Felix Schlade to the mound tonight, still looking for his first win of the summer. Don't know who the Bells are going to throw. They didn't say anything by press time. 6:35 at Joe Martin Field. We had a chance to visit with our good friend Joel Norman and catcher Carson Oland yesterday before the team hopped on the bus and headed north.
It's too bad the Wenatchee Apple Sox can't just pick up Paul Thomas Field and take him to Bellingham and take him to Canada this weekend. The best home record in franchise history was sealed with a nice victory on Sunday against Edmonton. Joel Norman, introduce this fine young gentleman to your left.
Carson Owen joining us here for our latest taping of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and boy, you know, he's had a heck of a season. It came on really strong in the month of July, and so he flipped the calendar to August. They're going to keep that going as well. Incoming freshman at University of Washington, West Coast League Player of the Week 2 weeks ago, and he's heating up at the right time. And you know, Dan, I'm sure you love it. It's fun to have a catcher who can also play the outfield a little bit. It gives them a break defensively, but you also have elite defender and an elite bat in both options.
Is it fun for you, my friend, to have not only your brother on the team, but have family so close they can come and watch you play? Most of these guys from California don't get that luxury, but you do. You get to play in front of family and friends.
Absolutely, all the time. It's so awesome to have family coming. You know, my parents have been here quite a bit. They even made their way up to Victoria the other weekend. And then, yeah, grandparents had aunts and uncles come last night, and so it's been a blast to be able to play in front of them, and they're loving it as well.
How can you account for your rather remarkable offensive numbers? You were earned the Player of the Week on merit. You deserve that. What's going on? You just feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good, seeing the ball really well. I was telling Joel early in the season I was making a lot of adjustments on my swing, and a lot of them clicked, and then I just started rolling, seeing the ball really big, and started crushing the ball and stuck with it.
Adjustments on your own, or did your hitting coach pull you aside and say, I'd like you to do this or that?
The coaches here with the Apple Sox don't like to do that too much. They don't like to mess with our swings too much, but I did get a little bit of advice from Coach Kelly and worked on that, and it eventually ended up working. So,
do you study your own film? Do you look at your own mechanics from an unbiased eye so you can see yourself, not inside yourself, and see what you're doing?
I do, yeah. I usually screen record swings from inside games, and then also in the cages I'll be filming my swing to look at my mechanics and ultimately make adjustments needed.
Your brother's on the team. Was it fun growing up to always have somebody to play catch with? Does he make you a better ball player and vice versa?
Definitely. Looking up to him always. You know, growing up he was a catcher as well, so I always looked up to him. We were always too far apart. We were always 4 years apart, so this is kind of the first time we've ever played together since COVID, since he had another year of eligibility. So it's been really cool to play with him, and you know, playing catch with him out there is like growing up.
Joel, you've seen this guy play more than I have. Your impressions?
Oh, it's been really fun to watch his development. I think every year, and Dan, we've talked about this before, the incoming freshmen, they have their learning stages early in the season, mid-June through the end of that month. It can be a tough stretch sometimes. Some guys come in, you're flying, ready to go, and Carson started that way. He had an RBI double, his first at-bat of the summer, hit a couple of weeks of some tough play, but then right around the start of July, things just turned the corner, and he's been raking ever since. And you know, there's kind of a reason why he's been batting second a lot in the lineup. And you know, Dan, I think in the modern baseball now, there's been that debate of where the best hitter is in the lineup, and I think we're seeing a lot of major league teams put their best hitter second, and I think the Sox have been doing that. You know, you can't blame Coach Charlington for wanting Owen to get as many at-bats as possible.
Sox are going to the playoffs. Who and when and how many home games, that is yet to be decided. And starting tonight in Bellingham, a team, quite frankly, who's been playing us pretty much man up all year long. The Bells are good.
They're a really good team, probably the best team in terms of pitching in this league. We think we're right there with them, but they've got a couple of extra arms who I think in there they've done a really good job, and this is going to be a test this week, taking on them. And you know, we owe them a couple of wins, I think. After what they came in last week, they stole a couple here. Now it's the Apple Sox turn to go do that at Joe Martin Field.
The fact that we don't have to really put our, last year we made the playoffs like the second to last day. Now we're in with still 6 games to go. Does that make things just a little bit easier? Hey, let's go 3-3 in our final 6-game road trip and start kicking butt in the playoffs? Or do you want to just say, let's just take it to them now?
I would say it's a good thing to know that we're in the playoffs, but once again, the record still matters for home field advantage. So we're definitely pushing hard to win all 6 games on this road trip right here, because we want to play here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium for semifinals and the final game. So that's the goal.
3 games in Bellingham, 3 games in Kelowna. The regular season wraps up on Sunday, and then it's playoff time. Back to you. So the Apple Sox are in the playoffs as we take a look at the standings in the West Coast League's North second half. What is still to be determined? The seeding and who they'll take on in the first round of the playoffs. So heading into tonight, Wenatchee leads Victoria by 2.5 games in the North Division's second half standings. Kelowna still has a chance to catch Wenatchee. They're 4 games back, but you got to remember, we play Kelowna 3 times this weekend at Elk Stadium. And finally, 1 game played in the West Coast League last night had Portland beating Springfield 3-1. Dalton Mashore's 2-run base hit was the big hit for the Pickles in the bottom of the 3rd. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this first day of August for the obscure holiday I could have chosen but did not. Respect for Your Parents Day. It's National Minority Donor Awareness Day. It's National Raspberry Cream Pie Day.
It's National Mahjong Day with those tiles and all that stuff. I can't figure that game out. Today is National Girlfriend Day today for all of you girlfriends out there. Show your girlfriends how much you care for them. Send them some roses, take them out to dinner, buy some jewelry, or you can punish them by hanging out with them. The facts are there. Couples, the longer a couple dates before they get married, the longer they're going to stay married. In fact, people who date for 3 years or more before they get married were 40% less likely to get divorced. And it's for obvious reasons. You know, it gives you quite a bit of time before you can figure out, are you compatible? Do you have the same kind of interests and things like that? So that way, if you find out after dating somebody for a while that you're not really compatible, you don't have to get married in the first place, then you don't have to worry about getting divorced. Marriage is easy. Divorce is hard. YouTube began as a dating site. It was trademarked and founded on Valentine's Day. The tagline was "Tune in and hook up." The idea behind YouTube was unattached people could make their own videos and upload it onto YouTube, and you could, kind of like a dating match, you could find somebody who you might like. And what changed all of that was, of course, the famous Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake Super Bowl halftime show incident. And the founders of YouTube, the Monday after that Super Bowl, went looking for the video and couldn't find it anywhere. So they said, well, why don't we upload it ourselves and put it on YouTube? That's how YouTube went viral. And by the way, men are usually the first to say, I love you. Happy National Girlfriend's Day today. It's the bottom of the hour. Today in history, what state flag is this? Now, this is a state flag I can get behind. Most of them, they take the state seal, they stick it on the flag, and they call it good. They showed a little imagination with this one. Take a look. This is the birthday of Colorado, who joined the Union on this date in 1876, 147 years ago today. They are the 38th state of the Union. They're known as the Centennial State because they joined the Union during our nation's centennial in 1876. Fun facts about Colorado. The lowest point in Colorado is 3,317 feet above sea level. That's the lowest point in Colorado. That is higher than the highest point in 18 states. In fact, 75% of all the land in the United States that is 10,000 feet or more above sea level is in Colorado. That is pretty remarkable. Colfax Avenue in Denver is the longest continuous street in this country. It's one street and it runs 26.5 miles. Pretty impressive. Colorado has 650 incorporated towns and about 500 ghost towns. After the huge gold rush in Colorado, these ghost towns popped up all over the place, and then when the gold mines tapped out, everybody left. So if you're a fan of ghost towns, a lot of them are very well preserved. Colorado is the place to go. In 1970, Denver was awarded the 1976 Winter Olympics. But when the citizens of Colorado voted in a referendum whether to fund it or not in 1972, 60% said no. So they lost the Olympics. Ended up going to Innsbruck, Austria. The sales of motor vehicles on a Sunday in the state of Colorado has been banned for the last 70 years. Colorado is one of 13 states where you cannot buy a car on a Sunday, at least from a car dealership. Anyway, that's pretty interesting. And Colorado has the lowest rates of obesity and the highest expectancy of living of any state. If you want to live a long time and be in good shape, Colorado is #1 across the board. Happy 147th birthday to the Centennial State. And again, good flag, Colorado. Well done. 87 years ago today, the games of the 11th Olympiad opens at Olympic Stadium in Berlin. The stadium is still there. There is the footage. Of course, the ceremony was presided over by, well, that guy. We won't get into that. This was the first Olympics to have a torch relay. It was the Germans who came up with this idea that they bring a torch, they light it in Athens, they bring it to the country that's going to host the Olympics, and they run it all over the country, and then they light the Olympic cauldron during the opening ceremonies. They've been doing it ever since, but it was the Berlin Games in 1936 that first happened. And during the opening ceremonies, they released 25,000 Pigeons. 25,000 pigeons in cages were released to fly over the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. As the pigeons circled overhead, a ceremonial cannon was fired, a big boom, and that caused the pigeons to do what pigeons do when they're scared and startled. One of the members of the United States Olympic team during the opening ceremony said, "All I remember is pigeon poop all over me." The 11th Olympiad opens in Berlin on this date in 1936. 57 years ago today, former Marine Charles Whitman wakes up, stabs his wife to death, gets in his car, drives to his mother's house, stabs his mother to death. He drives to the observation tower that overlooks the campus of the University of Texas in Austin. He kills the receptionist in the lobby, climbs up to the top of the tower, barricades himself in, and over the next hour and a half starts shooting. From the August 1st, 1966 Huntley-Brinkley report.
But many of the victims could not be moved until after the sniper was gunned down. And then the university students moved in to see what had happened. One ambulance driver was shot and critically injured trying to haul the wounded to safety. A policeman was killed as he moved in armed to try to get a sight on the sniper. A University of Texas professor was killed as he walked to class. The campus at one time looked like a battlefield. Dead people were lying on the sidewalks under 100-degree temperature, with police and others occasionally darting from cover to cover. The sniper was well armed and apparently planned a long siege. After he was cut down, police hauled out of the barricaded observation deck 2 30-06 rifles with telescopic sights, a .357 Magnum pistol, and a shotgun. He had 2 large jugs of water and a footlocker containing food and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. What caused the man to take the lives of so many and wound so many others on a hot summer day may be found in a letter discovered by the bodies of the alleged sniper's mother and wife late this afternoon.
14 people died that day. 31 people were injured. The final victim, the 15th and final victim, died 35 years later from injuries sustained in this shooting. After the autopsy of Charles Whitman, they discovered a tumor in his brain that was affecting the part of his brain that does your personality and your ability to reason. The Texas sniper incident on this date 57 years ago today. And 2 entirely different notes to speak of. Charity concerts are everywhere. You see them everywhere. Of course, Live Aid is very famous. Farm Aid still goes on. There are any number of concerts when rock and roll stars or country stars or hip hop get together, do a show to give the money to charity. It all started on this date with 2 shows at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The concerts for Bangladesh held on this date in 1971, matinee in the afternoon and the evening show organized by George Harrison. Bob Dylan performed. It was the first time anybody had even seen Bob Dylan, much less in concert, for many, many years. Ringo Starr, Billy Preston, Ravi Shankar, Eric Clapton, Badfinger, Leon Russell. George Harrison had to shell out almost all of his own money because there were lots of legal problems. All the money was supposed to go to the United Nations, which was then going to distribute it to the people suffering in Bangladesh. They eventually got their money. It took a long time. Paul McCartney and John Lennon were invited by George Harrison to participate. Paul said no because they still had all kinds of legal issues amongst the 4 Beatles. John Lennon said yes. George Harrison said, "John, I want you to play, but just you, no Yoko." John agreed. When John told Yoko that he was going to play but she couldn't, she got mad. They had a big fight. John backed out. The concert for Bangladesh. 2 shows, August 1st, 1971 in New York. And finally, 45 years ago today at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, Pete Rose goes 0 for 4. The Braves beat the Cincinnati Reds 16-4. The significance of this, Pete Rose's 44-game hitting streak comes to an end. 5 times during Pete Rose's hitting streak, once it became a streak and people got into it, about the 30th game or so, 5 times Pete Rose bunted in his last at-bat to keep his hitting streak alive. Joe DiMaggio, I don't think ever bunted once in his career. Finally, birthdays. They're all heavenly birthdays. One half of Lewis and Clark William Clark. Lieutenant William Clark, one half of the Corps of Discovery, was born in the state in 1770. Unlike his counterpart, Meriwether Lewis, he lived a long time. One half of Lewis and Clark. Meriwether Lewis was a captain. Lewis wanted William Clark to also be appointed a captain. He didn't get it. He was a lieutenant. He was technically second in charge. Meriwether Lewis told the Corps of Discovery, he and I are co-leaders. You treat him exactly the same as you treat me. William Clark's job on the Corps of Discovery was map making, the management of the supplies, and hunting. He usually worked as the trailhead. William Clark. Ironically enough, he was extremely well read, but he was a terrible speller. If you ever read the original journals of William Clark, I can't figure out what the hell he's saying. William Clark, born in the state in 1770. Herman Melville. Moby Dick. Wrote perhaps the greatest novel ever. Moby Dick didn't become a legendary book until after Herman Melville died. He didn't have a lot of money when he died. It was after he died in 1891 when Moby Dick became a classic, even though it was published in the 1860s. Herman Melville, born in the state in 1819. And Robert Todd Lincoln, the only child of Abraham Lincoln and Mary Todd Lincoln to survive his parents. He outlived his parents. His other siblings, of course, died in their youth. At President James Garfield's invitation, Robert Todd Lincoln was in Washington, D.C. on the day Garfield got shot. He was actually in the Garfield administration. He was the Secretary of War. He was with Garfield when Garfield got shot in 1881. In 1901, he was invited by William McKinley to go to the Pan American Expedition in Buffalo, where William McKinley got shot and got killed. After that, presidents quit inviting Robert Todd Lincoln to public events. And one of the most remarkable things, Robert Todd Lincoln, the son of Abraham Lincoln, his life was saved in New York City by Edwin Booth, whose brother, John Wilkes Booth, killed his father. How's that for irony? It's 40 minutes after the hour. Still to come, an opinion from my Mad Dog Mignotti, and then Jerry Anderson. Always good to talk to Jerry, good buddy of ours, good guy, from the Chelan County Football Officials Association. It's that time of the year again. Without officials, it's just recess. Get involved. Jerry and me next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
This is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I've got a couple of Marxist friends on Facebook. Well, maybe they're actual commies, I don't know. But, you know, they've been posting stuff about how Russia's President Putin really is a good guy, and it's America's fault that Ukraine was invaded, yada, yada. You know, maybe these people have a point or two, but this attitude is just an example of how we ourselves react. If you like a politician, you're going to support everything he or she does, even if it's something stupid. I mean, look, you can like Putin all you want, but If you deny that the guy's committing war crimes, you're just eroding your own integrity. And you might like Biden or you might like Trump, but if they do something dumb, don't try to tell us that it isn't. Jeez. Oh, gosh. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that. We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the expert at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa.
Motion e-bikes is rolling out its new line of Avented e-bikes. Come in today and save $300 on the top-selling Avented Adventure. Motion is Central Washington's home for affordable e-bikes, located in the Mills Brothers building in downtown Wenatchee.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
Welcome back to the program. We're here on the field of Liebhoff Field at the Apple Bowl as we're getting ready for another year of high school football. Jerry Anderson is joining me again. Now, we could talk about existentialism or apple blossom or the state of the world, but that's not what we're here to talk about, even though Jerry has interesting thoughts and ideas. If Jerry Anderson's on the show from the Chelan County Football Officials Association, that means it's time to get you folks interested in wearing the black and white stripes come this football season. It's good to see you, my friend Gerald.
Good to be here, my man.
You're looking well.
Thank you.
Here we are again. Obviously, the need is here again to get high school football officials, as you like to say. Without officials, it's just recess.
That's right.
Where do we stand right now as we start thinking about the fall football season?
We're in a little better shape than we've been the last several years. We know we've got at least 5 new officials this year, but it takes a couple of years for those people to get seasoned and so they're ready to do work at the varsity level. And so they'll be doing a lot of the sub-varsity, 7th, 8th, junior high games. I think a lot of the public doesn't realize we cover 9 schools, but each of those schools has 1 or 2 junior high teams and a freshman or a JV team plus a varsity team. So
you add it all up, 120 games maybe? I'm just spitballing here. Can you give me an idea?
Yeah, I guess. I've never counted. I usually do somewhere between 35 and 45 games a season. So you multiply that by 20-some guys that are out here. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Monday afternoons for JV, you got Friday nights, you got Saturdays, you got double headers. It all adds up.
Right. Wednesday is usually the 7th and 8th graders. We're fortunate here in Wenatchee, especially with the Apple Bowl here, the kids can play, we play 7th and 8th grade double headers here, so it only takes 1 crew, and because it's hard for some of the officials to get off, early enough to do 3, 4 o'clock on the afternoon game.
So the schedule is put together by the athletic directors with some input from the coaches, of course, and they do it, I believe, in 2-year cycles.
Yes.
And then they spit out the schedule, and then they send your assigner, Dennis, here's what we got.
Right.
And then Dennis responds by doing what?
Well, he gets them all loaded up, and we use a computer program called Arbiter, and gets them loaded up, and then he starts putting people on different games. And what he looks at is strength of schedule. How important is this game? Is it a league game? Is it not a league game? And so we want to have good officials on every game, but obviously some of us are better than others. Others are still learning, and we're trying to bring them along. So he just assigns as he sees fit, but the strongest possible crew we can put out there, and we put out a 5-man crew on all varsity games.
And that's a requirement. That's one of the deals. You got to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are the skill sets that we're planting a seed here, folks?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've thought about it.
I'm young, I'm in relatively decent shape, I like football, and I want to help out. What are the basic skill sets that one needs to just even consider becoming a football
Well, I guess it would be the reason that we do what we do out here. We love the game, we love the kids, and almost all of us to the person thinks that team sports are a very integral part of an education. And if they don't have the team, if we don't have enough officials, we don't have team sports. You don't have to be young. If you're 50 years old, 40 years old, you want to come out and get some exercise and you enjoy the kids in the game, and you can be. We just lost one of our best officials this last year because she moved to Hood River, Oregon.
Oh, she was good too. I liked her.
She's an excellent official.
We did a number of games with her officiating.
Yeah, she was really good official. So we'd love to have the ladies, if they got an interest in the game, you know, we're willing to work with them and teach them what's going on. But there's no particular skill set, I guess, that you need. You got to be able to study the book and pass the test and just be ready to have a little fun out here with the rest of us.
Our mutual friend, Rob Tidd, I asked him one time, because, you know, we see Rob all the time
Sure.
out there officiating. I go, what are you doing? He goes, I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's pocket money. You know, like it's not the greatest money in the world, but it helps.
Well, we did get a raise a couple of years ago, so that's helping out a little bit and making it a little more worth our time, kind of covering the hours. And some of the travel isn't, you know, we have to go to Coulee City, which is a long drive. That's our furthest drive, Coulee City and Manson.
But you are, you know, compensated by that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So the couple of new twists this year. For one thing, the umpire, the traditional positioning of the umpire, has been basically that little dead area between the linebackers and the defensive backfield, usually in charge of also spotting the ball, you know, or after each play is down. That is the #1 location for an official to get hurt.
Absolutely.
You're right in the middle of the action, and so you guys got together with the people who make these decisions and say, yeah, let's go ahead and move the umpire to a new location. Talk about that.
Right, yeah, you haven't lived until you've been run over by a 240-pound linebacker. And you may not think you're going to live afterwards, but yes, we're going basically, our state this is not a national thing. There's a lot of states that do it, but the state of Washington, the WOA, has decided this year we're putting the umpire in the backfield like the pros and the colleges do. And if you're a student of the game, you'll see a lot of things different in the mechanics and the way we cover the field this year. But it's going to be a lot better for us umpires, especially as we get older and don't move quite as fast.
So the umpire will now be in the offensive backfield,
Correct.
basically opposite of the referee.
Opposite the referee.
The ball is snapped, then what does the umpire do?
Well, it all depends on where the ball goes. If it's a drop back pass, the umpire still is going to, as I understand it, we're still waiting to have a class on this, so I'm kind of talking off the top of my head here. But the referee will stay with the passer, and the umpire will continue to watch the line for holds and ineligibles downfield and that sort of thing. If it's a run to the umpire side, he becomes in effect a referee at that point, and he officiates that ball clear to the sidelines. And if it goes the other direction than the referee, it's his ball. We basically split the field in half.
And the idea is it's a less dangerous position because the umpire is.
We've had a lot of, a lot of us have gotten hurt working that umpire position, and there's a lot of guys that are good football people, know the rules, but they may only be 5'8" or 5'10", and they don't want to get lost back there in the tall timber and get run over. And so.
Here's a thought, and it just popped into my head. All of the games that we have been televising over the last 7, 8 years on the NCAA Live channel, they're archived, they're on our YouTube page. I would recommend, queuing up a Wenatchee-Eastmont game or any kind of Wenatchee or Eastmont game. It doesn't have to be those two teams together. And instead of watching the players, watch the officials, see what they do. Because you got some good folks. You got some good folks who know what they're doing.
We have some good experience out there. Dennis has been doing it for 47 years. This will be my 43rd season. Rich Halderman has been there 30 or 40 years. So we got a lot of experience out in the field.
But eventually, you're going to want to retire. You want to be a grandpa. Every year I talk to you, say, my last year, and every year you come back. It could be, well, truth be told, you like it too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, no, we have a good time out here and enjoy the kids.
So you guys have a Facebook page. You can probably pop on there and message Jerry. You can get a hold of Jerry directly. Where do we go from here?
You can call me.
Provided we planted that seed. Go ahead, Jerry.
Give me a shout at 509-670-2800, and I'll get you hooked up.
So what's the initial? I'm interested. I've talked with Jerry. what happens next in the process of the newbies who are getting into this?
Well, we start meeting tonight. It'll be our first meeting of the season, kind of an administrative meeting. If you give me a call, I can give you the information. We meet at Wenatchee High School, room 600 over there, and we'll get the season off. And then we meet pretty much every Tuesday through August and September, and then our meetings slow down a little bit as the season picks up. But we, at our meetings, what we do is we go over the book rule by rule, and we study the mechanics. We have a course in how to handle coaches and players, pretty much teach you what you need to know. And then on the weekends, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, we have an on-field clinic where we physically show the guys and gals where to line up on the field and what their responsibilities are.
And some of the officials, if I remember correctly, will come to the football practices and basically officiate mock games. They'll come out and help. And
yeah, the first of the season, well, they'll have their jamborees and that kind of stuff. We did one last spring, actually, at Chelan. They had their annual spring game up there with Manson. And usually Wenatchee will have a jamboree, and sometimes Kashmir will have one, so it gives us some real good on-field training, too.
Oh, by the way, if you wear those black and white, vertical stripe, it makes you look thinner.
I need all the help I can get.
Come be an official. I love officials because, again, as Jerry said, without officials, it's just recess. And I'm glad the numbers are up a little bit, but eventually, I don't want to have to do these interviews with you every August. I'm getting, not that I don't like you, Jerry, but when my phone rings and it says Jerry Anderson, I know what you're calling about, buddy. So
always good to see you.
Always good to see you, Jerry. And again, get a hold of Jerry. Email address when you show it at the bottom of your screen one more time right now. Give Jerry an email or give him a call. Get involved. It's one last question. I would be remiss if I didn't ask this. You do get paid. It's not a lot, but you do get paid, and you do have to buy your own uniform.
Correct.
Yeah,
and don't let the uniform expense scare you off. It's for a rookie official, it's $200 to $300 by the time you get the shirt and the pants and the shoes and all the other stuff that goes with it. Don't worry if you can't afford it up front. We'll help out with that and get you going and get you more than enough games to pay for all your equipment.
Any other homework they can do? I mentioned film study by watching any of our games on our NCAA Live YouTube page. Can they glance? Is there a rule book they can look at, or anything else that you think that might be a good idea?
If they come and join us, they'll get the rule book. We give them that and a case study book, and then we teach them what they need to know in the class and on the field in between.
Jerry Anderson from the Chelan County Football Officials Association. Let's have a great and safe, penalty-free football season.
Absolutely.
Jerry, it's good to see you, my friend. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
A break from reality. Central Washington Water has a showroom full of possibilities. They have the perfect hot tub for any space and any budget, including saltwater hot tubs for the absolute best ownership experience. Find free-flow plug-and-play spas that make it simple and affordable to get you soaking. Tropatone furniture to complete your patio. Make summer a splash with a high-quality, easy-to-set-up above-ground pool with pumps and filters from Central Washington Water, your water experts.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
The Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
There it is, folks, the winning lotto ticket right here. Dan, soon to be a billionaire Kuntz with one more look at your weather forecast. First of all, the Climate Prediction Center sped out their 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for August 6th through the 10th. And as you can see, we have a better than 50-50 chance of seeing our afternoon highs above normal. And we actually have a better than 50-50 chance of seeing some precipitation. Now, we are way behind on that, but that precipitation would come in the form of a pop-up thunderstorm because we're in the very heat and the dog days of summer. Not a sustained rain event. There isn't one, unfortunately, in the forecast. We need the rain. It ain't coming. Sunshine today, about 91 for the afternoon high. A little breezy at times today, a little breezy at times tonight. The pressure gradients are going to tighten a little bit, but not too bad. 92 on Wednesday, 93 on Thursday. I think you're detecting a pattern here. A little bit warmer each and every day. That big dome of high pressure, the middle of it is right over western Montana, and it's going to stay in place for quite some time with some pretty dirty air to the north of us near the Eagle Bluff Fire. And that's it for us. Have a great Tuesday. I think I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bagpipes and trot out the tartan.
We're at the high-flying Highland Games, celebrating the majesty of Scotland right here in America. Witness amazing feats on the field of battle, where a world record will fall.
Over the bar?
Yes, go on.
Wait.